Hi, I'm Nick and this is the TBT channel. Welcome to this drone focused video today. You will have noticed, I'm sure, that I've been playing with my drone quite a lot recently. Let's get it out here. The one I'm using, most of the times I do have a tiny whoop as well, which is ever so difficult to control, but I've got this one, a DJI Neo, that is very easy to control. And you will have seen on Thursday night's video, if you watch that one, where I played around with this, showed you all the features it has, and at the end particularly I showed you the FPV function of it, where you wear goggles, you've got a little joystick controller, and you can fly this around like you're sat inside it. And I found a club nearby who were doing FPV with proper FPV drones, okay, really quite tricky to fly things, but they had all the gates and stuff and it was awesome. And I wanted it. I think I said to them, I need to get some of those for the garden. So fair enough, I got home and I went on Tinderwebs and thought, right, race gates for FPV drones, they're like 35 to 70 quid each. That's a lot of money, and I am, above all else, tight. So, you know, you want half a dozen really to make a decent course in your garden. So it's like hundreds. I could get another drone for that, you know. So, I don't know. So I was thinking, and today I was forced to go shopping. I was removed from my workshop, removed from my toy room, and taken shopping. But we went into Decathlon and I saw these. It's a pool noodle, as you undoubtedly know. It's in 3D. Don't you hate 3D films? A pool noodle, and I thought, hang on, eine Minute bitte, I could make an FPV gate out of that. Now, it's not as big as the ones that I was using at the weekend, but I'm using a tiny little, I can't pick it up because if I pick it up, it'll go like that. But I'm using a tiny little Neo that I think I was actually cocky enough to say on the video at some point there that I wish they were a bit more difficult to hit. So these ones are going to be more difficult to hit, obviously. But it's in my own garden. I've got nobody watching me and I can just play. So I thought, well, I can do that. But the main problem is apparent. As soon as I let go of that, I've got to find a way of holding it in place. I had thought about putting stakes into the ground and then just plonking these onto the stakes, but then you're only going to get a limited number of uses out of one of these before it's just too baggy in the hole, as it were. So I said, well, how am I going to do that? And I started thinking of really elaborate ways of using like 32mm pipe and joints and make a frame and stick it on, blah, blah, blah. And I was still thinking about that because this was in Decathlon and I knew that Leroy Merlin or Leroy Merlin, the kind of French equivalent of B&Q place, was on the way home, so I could pop in there. But it was starting to rack up in price in my head and complexity and stuff. But anyway, so next I got dragged into Action, and Action is kind of like a French version of B&M's. And we're walking around there getting dog food and paint and God knows what other tedium. And I saw this. I thought, ooh, a hula hoop. So I picked it up and Karen looked at me and went, really? I went, no, not what you're thinking. This could be a perfect base for that. You see. Do you see where I'm going with this? So I got half a dozen of these and I got half a dozen of these. And I brought it back. And I'm now gonna try and make a gate for it. Now, these are jointed here. Underneath this tape is where this is jointed. But it's glued. Can a hecker's like get it apart? So I've already done some thinking. This time I've done some thinking before I came in here. You'll be glad to hear. You won't have to suffer me trying to figure it all out inside of there as we as we go. So I've got a hacksaw. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this at the opposite side to that one, just with a hacksaw. Nothing posh. Get off there. And what I'm thinking is I really am thinking. I'm thinking this stuff, right, is quite bendy, but it's also, you could shove your finger through it if you pushed hard enough. So what I'm thinking is trying not to knock everything over. I didn't think this bit through, I'll be honest. I thought, yeah, I'll be able to do that down there. If I push that and twist, we're going. Push and twist, push and twist. This will be easier in an outside environment. It goes all the way through, and look at that. Look at that, and now I'll pull that bit out. I've got a hole, I can see you, through my noodle. I've got a holy noodle. Call the Pope, we've found a holy noodle. So now all I need to do is put one in the other end, like this. Ready? Going through. We're going through. We're cutting. We're through. Oh, I've got another plug. That's lovely. So what I want to do now is, because I did it approximately halfway from that sticker, if I put that one there, then with any luck and a following wind, I can put that one through there. Now, to joint it back together, I've got some bits of plastic. I don't know where these come from. I've got flipping thousands of them. I'll put that into there, put that one onto that side, and then the action of the hoop trying to go straight keeps it there. So I don't have to glue it, which means if I want to transport these in the car, I can easily take the hoops out. It all goes flat and into there. And that's it. Look at that. Look. Observe my racing gate, which is perfectly big enough for this to zip. So I hope we're going to go and try it. We're going to try it in the garden. I've got half a dozen of these. Oh, now, actually, the noodle cost me €4. The hoop cost me €2.29. That's €6.29 per gate, as opposed to 35 to 70. That's a big saving. €6.29 by, I have checked this is the correct number. Today's exchange rate is £5.19. So for a £5, you can make your own FPV gate. Also, while I was in Decathlon, I picked up a few of these. Now these are, I think they're football hoops. You hang them up and it's for kids to aim at kicking a football through. But I thought that's good as well. So I bought 3 of these. These were €7 each. So, you know, comparatively expensive compared to my hoop, which is incidentally, because it's made of foam, it's not going to damage your drone when you inevitably clatter into it. So these are €7 each, and there's a little hangy bit there. So I'm going to hang a few of these from trees and things like that. I've got 3 of them. I've got 6 of these. So I'm going to dot them around the garden, and we're going to go out and we're going to have a play with my 6 times 5 is 30, 48, less than 50 quid, all in FPV course. Let's get out there and have a play. Okay, started off first gate right next to me on the bench. Who's that fat lad? Right next to me on the bench, and I made it. Hey! Yeah, as soon as I started flying this, I realised I was so much smaller than the gates that I had been using. But that's a good thing, I think, for in the garden with such a controllable drone. Whereas your normal FPV things, if you are FPV guys, you'll know they're zipping around all over the place, and just trying to keep them calm is the main thing. This would be too easy like that. Now, watch this. Over the top. How did that happen? Let's have another go over the top again. I was getting a little bit confused by this. I'm trying to make it go down. it will become self-explanatory, but this is an issue I found. I did manage to get through it, but then when I got further down the garden, this next gate, I'm really struggling to get down to the altitude. It's because it's got GPS and all this clever wizardry inside of it trying to stop me from crashing. I'm 7 meters lower at the back of the garden to where I took off. So it's telling me on the telemetry inside of the goggles I'm 7 meters below ground level, and it really doesn't want to go down anymore because it's worried I'm going to crash. Whoa, through that hoop. I love that hoop. This is a good bit. I didn't even flinch. Ha ha ha. Sorry, I'm just remembering how much fun it was doing it all over again. God, I love playing with this drone. So yes, it's very small hoops for a very small drone, but they work. I did try it the day after this video as well, and it was very windy. And this one, it's quite windy and it was blowing the drone to the side, but the following day it was actually blowing the hoops over, and that is definitely far too windy for this drone when it does it. Here we go, get this one again. See, it's just go down, you bugger. It would not go down past that point. So go and take a run up at it. That's the daughter in the background shrieking. Go on, you can do it. Through you go. There we are, squeezed in there. Going uphill is absolutely fine. I guess I could just use these hoops up the top of the garden and use the yellow hoops, the circles higher up at the back. Now I think I missed that one, and coming up to the point now where I just crash. So this is where I end the video. The size makes it a real challenge, which is great. It would be no fun if it was too easy, but it's a challenge. And those hoops as well, the plastic hoops, I've only put one up. I've got to find places for another two, but I think I'm going to be making more of these gates. If you have any ideas on what we could use to make gates, or if you've making them yourself, please let us know. Please leave a comment down below, and tell me about your drone FPV things. It's a learning curve for me. If any of you are actually already doing it, please let me know if there's anything else I should be doing. But please like, subscribe, hit notifications. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.